Hello, beautiful soul. Can I read something to you? Because several years ago, I wrote a series called The Gratitude Journey, and I usually released it this time of year, but because I've been busy with the book and the remodel and all that stuff, I didn't get to release it this year. But I wrote this about forgiveness, and so I want to read that to you, and I hope this helps, okay? The gatherings that the holidays bring will likely bring together family and friends with whom we have layers and layers of history, some of which may be messy and less than ideal. It's enough to send us spiraling into anxiety as the time to see them draws near. It isn't just the gatherings that usher in those moments of anxiety. The memories of holidays past oftentimes can come flooding in during this time of year. We may be surprised to have memories pop up of someone who hurt us deeply. Why now? Why are we thinking of them now when we haven't thought of them all year? The holidays are precisely why we are thinking of them. Let us unpack today's lesson on forgiveness and its wisdom for our time here in the gratitude journey. The holidays tend to make us melancholy for days gone by. People may muse that about those moments in our past that were simpler times. Those sentiments often arise from a desire to return to a time that seemed to be less complicated, when someone else paid our bills, cleaned the house, or worried about all the day-to-day tasks that keep our lives on track. The desire for simpler times also beckoned to a sense of peace that was our lives before we matured and realized that life can be hard. The inevitable arrives. Life is made harder when people hurt us, and we're left to tend to those wounds and figure out how we pick up the pieces and move on. The holidays open up all the deep feelings surrounding our lives, from assessing our progress to setting our goals for the upcoming new year. Doors to memories that we thought were locked and forever closed come bursting open, leaving us longing for the good old days and revisiting the memories that remain from that person who hurt us. Yet they are still here as we gingerly touch that scar that remains from once was a gaping wound. It may seem counterintuitive to label this day as a teaching in forgiveness, but forgiveness is not static. It ebbs and flows and reminds us that it is we who are released from the harm caused by another when that pain no longer has control over us. This lesson in forgiveness doesn't assume that the person is completely out of our lives. We can forgive and move on without the one who hurt us. Or we find that our healing can exist with this person still in our lives. There is no judgment being offered here on that decision. Your healing journey is your healing journey. Take your time. When deciding whether to rebuild a relationship, especially if you feel the person who hurt you hasn't changed, answers can only come with time, discernment, and wise counsel to help us navigate the myriad of emotions. Ultimately, there will be necessary truths to face before determining our new normal. I want to stop here and make sure you heard that. Forgiveness is never first and foremost about the reestablishment of relationships. It's about your healing. And your healing journey through forgiveness is your healing journey. It isn't linear and it isn't static. It ebbs and flows. So I want to offer that to you. Forgiveness is about accepting what was before you were hurt, no longer is or can be in the exact same way. It's much easier said than done, particularly if the hurtful behavior goes unacknowledged or even worse, is still ongoing and continuously reopening old wounds. Although commitments to regain trust and love can be made and relationships potentially restored, the truth is things between us and the person who hurt us will change. While those changes may even be for the better, they will impact our relationships in many ways. When we shine a light on the painful memories, raw feelings will surface as we remember and seethe with anger over the betrayal and heartache, or lay on the floor, overwhelmed in emotion as we remember the pain. Healing can only begin when we release the expectation that the offending party can do or say anything to fix what has been broken. The truth is, no one is responsible for our peace but us. It's a difficult concept that for most of us takes a lifetime to fully comprehend. Forgiveness is a spiritual and deeply personal journey, an opportunity to go within and seek wisdom in the experience so that new tools are added to your resources, and where necessary, boundaries reestablished and armor guarding vulnerable spaces reinforced. None of that is meant to imply that suspicion and mistrust become the filter through which we navigate relationships. It just means that we are mindful of who we let into the sacred spaces of our lives, and ensures that we are seen and cared for by those we trust with our hearts. Our hurt may be real, our trauma may be horrific, and our rejection from others may be painful. This path to healing can only begin when we accept that life will be lighter when we finally let go of the baggage we're carrying. If something is binding your heart with anger and unforgiveness, spend some time reflecting on what your next step might be in order to begin to let it go. If this day finds you at peace with your relationships, then contemplate how you may be able to help another who is struggling with unforgiveness. I hope that helps. I know that was a lot, but just know that your healing journey, beautiful soul, is your healing journey. You're recognizing that you have something there, a wound that needs healing. Beloved, that's not going to stop you on your spiritual journey. Sometimes it takes a lifetime. And sometimes those wounds are so deep, we learn to tend to them forever. No one's judging you here. I hope this helps. I love you.